Poinsett Club, right? Sucio.Talk. I am in Greenville, South Carolina, by way of Chef Nathan Kreiler. All right.
Kreiler,
This whole time I've been like, yo, Nathan Kreiler. I'm talking to Charlie. I'm talking to Tom, all the people that knew you, know, from the time. So I met you because you were staging at the restaurant at Meadowood and Charter Oak during my time there.
Yeah, man.
And you do that every year.
Pretty much.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
What started that?
Originally, I was sent out to take a class at the CIA.
Okay.
Out in, St. Helena out there, and took the class, and I had lunch at Charter Oak, and was like, man, this place is really cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to check this place out. It's simple food, but it's not that simple.
Got you.
And so I just started writing emails, and Chef Wang, responded.
Yeah.
Man, and just haven't looked back.
Yeah.
So,
word up. So...
Yeah.
Did you plan on making it an annual thing, or the first time you got there, you were like, I'm doing this next year?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not really. I mean, it was like, it went really, really well, and it was like, I learned a lot, and so it was like, all right, what can I do to learn more?
Heard that.
Did
you stage anywhere else in the Napa area?
I did Qua.
Okay.
Daniel Patterson.
When he was
San
there?
Francisco. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He had, Anderson had just stepped away.
Heard that.
And
it was during that phase, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The L2O guy was going over there or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, understood.
And so Patterson came back, and he was doing his greatest hits, which was really cool. So I got to see all the classics and shit.
Very cool, man. That's cool.
And then I also Kenzo Napa.
Okay.
And that was interesting.
I never ate there.
Yeah, very interesting.
It's interesting.
I was probably the first white guy to ever work in that kitchen. It was
heard
cool.
that. I like that. Where that neighborhood was, it was so unassuming. I mean, across the street there was an eye doctor. So it was because that was my eye doctor, and I never knew there was a restaurant there.
Yeah, you wouldn't know unless you looked it up.
100%.
Those guys are on top of their game.
Yeah, too, and I was like, that's wild.
Yeah. Very, very cool.
Cool, man. Did you stage a single thread?
No, I did not.
Okay, heard. But you went to eat there, am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much every year I go out and I dine well, I eat, drink well.
You bring your family, your
whole
whole family with you.
Yeah, the family came out.
It's dope, man. Are they like, Dad, I don't want to go to Napa next year?
Oh, no. They're all like, when are we going to California? When are we going to California?
That's cool, man. That's cool. Are you, where were you born?
I was born in Youngstown, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And we moved around a lot. My dad was part of the IT boom of the 80s and 90s.
Okay, heard
so about
that.
every 3-4 years, we had to move. And so never really set up roots or anything.
Heard that.
Pretty much actually ended up going to college I was supposed to be a lawyer, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I went to Ohio State for college.
No way. So you were doing well in school.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And I did the typical, I was working front of the house at a restaurant.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I like to cook at home. Why don't I try a couple shifts in the back? And started off on pantry, man. And here I am now at the Poinsett Club.
Dope, man.
Chef.
Hell yeah. So what did your dad was in IT. What did your mom do?
Yeah, she was a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I had probably more of your traditional, upbringing. Mom was at home, dad worked.
You have brothers?
Sisters? 2 sisters.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
older?
Sisters. Yeah, 2 older.
Oh,
sisters.
nice.
Yeah.
So they beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
For sure. That's awesome. Cool. What do they do?
Yeah, Dawn is my oldest sister. She's a stay-at-home mom as well. She kind of took after mom and dad type
Heard
thing.
That.
And Sarah actually went and got her master's in psychology from James Madison. And she has a severely autistic older son, my nephew. And so she ended up having to stay home and kind of take care of him.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. So when did you first start sort of having an interest in this food?
I am probably, it's your cliche, man. It was like, Food Network. It was like, watch the Food Network. Let me try that. Let me try this.
Yeah.
Who
started
are you
cooking
watching at home. Oh, back then it was like Tyler Florence.
Yeah.
Rachel Ray.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And just started trying recipes at home.
Word up.
And it wasn't like nowadays when it's like, I'm going to be a famous chef. But it was like, hey, I like to cook.
Yeah. Okay. And so what was your first job then? Was it cooking?
First job my
first job ever.
First job ever was a bag boy at a grocery store.
Okay, heard that.
Yeah. First job at
Gotcha.
15. I grew up, you get a job, you work hard, earn your keep.
Exactly.
And,
okay, very cool.
So
so you didn't start right away like wanting to actually cook
for
a living?
When I was a kid, my family will tell you the only thing I could make was macaroni and cheese and frozen chicken tenders. Man.
That's funny. That's so funny. So you kept on it through the years, I guess, watching Food Network. And when did you first decide, like, all right, it's time to take this shit seriously?
I mean, once I moved to the kitchen, that first shift in the pantry, I loved the pace. I loved, the chaos and everything else of the kitchen, and just kind of took off from there, man.
Heard that.
I didn't want to sit behind a desk.
Yeah.
And so that was why I kind of stepped away from college. I debated on whether or not I was going to talk about this, but I actually, the chaos and the party style and everything else, you know. And, so I did that for a couple years and, fell into the party style.
Yeah.
Really, really hardcore.
100%.
Which, I mean, anybody in the industry has probably been through a stage of that.
What town were you living in at that time?
At the time, the first job was in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the place called?
Columbus, Ohio was Smoky Bones.
Smoky Bones.
Smoky
okay,
Bones.
Heard that. Like a rib house sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smoky Bones.
Understood.
And then we relocated to Raleigh.
Okay.
And I worked at a place called Copeland's, New Orleans style.
Okay.
And that was really the first time that I stepped completely into the back of the house.
Okay.
And pretty much just started off on pantry, and the chef at the time must have saw something in me, because that restaurant folded while I was there. Just typical money mismanagement type stuff. And when they folded, they were moving to Charlotte, and I got a phone call, and they were like, hey, do you want to come over and be like an assistant kitchen manager?
Yeah.
And I really didn't have the skill set at the time. I just had the passion, and I was like, sure, man, why not? You know? And so, moved over to Charlotte and started cooking there, and bounced around a little bit. And
in Charlotte?
No, Charlotte was pretty much predominantly Copeland's. And then went back to Raleigh for a little bit to kind of get reset.
Gotcha.
And after Raleigh, I got a job opportunity down here at a place called Flat Rock Grill.
Okay.
They recruited me to come down.
Yeah.
And I've been in Greenville ever since.
How'd they find out about you?
Just applying.
Okay.
Just applying.
Gotcha. So they call you, come down there, and then what do you do? What positions did you fill?
Started off, assistant kitchen manager. Did that for a while.
Okay, so you were managing pretty early on in your
I started off. I was really good at the management side of things, and I was learning how to cook as I went.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which is crazy, because it was like, okay, I'm supposed to be teaching these guys and whatever else, and
but they know a little bit more than you.
Yeah, they're teaching me. And so I had a really, really fast learning curve, man.
Yeah.
And
dope.
I mean, in reality, if I looking back over the years, it's amazing that I'm sitting here today.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I actually, like I mentioned, the party scene, and in Greenville here, worked for the Cliffs, which is like a private golf community.
Okay.
For many years, and then I mean, in all honesty, I got hooked on some hard stuff.
Yeah.
And that really put me out for a while.
Was that just the progression of partying that put you there, or was it like other life shit happening and kind of
combination?
Yeah.
Combination. But I mean, it was mostly, I'm an addictive personality.
Yeah,
I guess you could say. And got to the point, you went through the whole opiate craze.
Yeah.
That stuff got all crazy, and just got hooked. And I mean, it got to the point where like managing work and managing my habits, was really, really difficult.
Gotcha.
And a lot of chefs around town. I was probably the guy that I would fire today.
Yeah, 100%.
But
so you just basically bounced around town.
I did bounce around. Most of the time, the chef saw something in me, but I just couldn't hold it together.
Yeah.
It was one of those type of things, man.
Was it? Did you have a girlfriend at the time, or were you just solo?
Girlfriend, and I got married. We got married real quick because she was pregnant with my first son.
Heard that.
And after that, the habits came before family life. So then, of course, that led to divorce, and then divorce made the habits worse. Mm-hmm. And I mean, to the point of, my family had to do the right thing, and they kind of
intervened a little bit.
They intervened, but they had to let me fall.
Okay.
I had to hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Because I had a loving family, but it got to the point where they just had to say, hey,
You can't come here anymore.
Yeah, you need to handle whatever he's got going on. You know, so I did the in and out of detox, in and out of rehab.
Yeah. What made you finally like switch and not go back?
In all honesty, I spent one night homeless on the streets.
Okay.
I spent one night when I didn't have anywhere to turn, no family, and I kind of knew at that point, man, it was like, you got to fix something.
Yeah.
You got to fix something. So I got hooked up with a program here in town. Shout out to Miracle Hill. Overcomers program. It's a men's program. And I had to go in there. It's pretty intensive, like 7-8 months, like intense in-house rehab facility.
Gotcha.
And that
right here in town
turned my life around. Okay. Yeah, man. In Greenville, South Carolina, man.
Okay.
And
were you cooking all through this time?
Yeah, through all that, yeah.
Okay.
And then finally, I was fired from my last job, of course.
Yeah.
And that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And that's actually something I've been meaning to do, is go back and thank him, saying, hey, you don't know it, but firing me was the best thing you could have did.
Yeah. Well, in the cooking industry, you have so many people that are also addicted, so it kind of makes it okay. Yeah. But then it must have been real rock bottom when those people are telling you, like, no, you can't be here. You know what I mean?
You're at the point you can't bum anything else. You're not making any money. You're useless to them. So, it's like, all right, you got to go. You know? And
so that switched your life around, and what do you do from there? What's your first step?
First step after that, I actually I tried to get out of cooking.
Okay.
Because, they were like, maybe you need to try to do something else.
Yeah.
And, due to the lifestyle and everything else, but it was like cooking was all I knew at that point. So I was like, I don't know how to do anything else. And so I tried to sell cars.
You try to sell used cars or like
brand new Chevys,
like straight dealership.
Dealership.
How did you get that job?
He was a friend of the program.
Okay.
And so I reached out to him, and he knew me and whatnot. And so he took a chance. He figured probably because of my past lifestyle, he's like, you could be a hustler.
Yeah.
And everything.
I like that.
And everything else, And so, he took a chance. And, I did okay the first month or whatever else. And, it was okay, but it just wasn't me, man. My whole approach was like, if you want to buy it, you'll buy it. And in a car, I couldn't put the pressure on,
Heard.
So then, unfortunately, like I started to backslide a little bit in that, and finally had to, take a step back. And I was about to go back into the program.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things where, like, I realized, like, I didn't need to go back through the program again. Like, I knew everything. I had my fundamentals in recovery, if you will. And it was like going through that wasn't going to be a good step because, my oldest son had already put enough on hold. I'd been away for a while and everything else. And,
gotcha.
Whatnot. So finally, was fortunate enough, got a place to stay, got another cooking job.
Yeah.
And then you started saving money. Moved into my own, saved up enough money to get my own apartment. Didn't have any furniture, didn't have anything in there. But, it was like, hey, I got a place to stay.
Yeah.
And really had to work my way up from the rock bottom.
I heard that.
Total rock bottom. And, bounced around a couple jobs again. Had a chef actually give me a second chance.
Okay.
And because he had just opened up his own place. And, he gave me a second chance. It was fine dining again. I was loving it, and just kind of went from there.
Yeah. Got you. So when did you get here?
It would be 5 years ago this December.
5 years ago this December.
I had just had a executive chef job at a restaurant in town, but it was more like family style fast food type stuff.
Okay.
And
what was it called?
It was called Short Fields.
Okay.
Short Fields. And once again, it was like, I was miserable because they weren't doing the type of food I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And, whatever else. And, in reality, it was, long days because, you were executive chef, but you were working a line as well.
Yeah.
It was one of those kind of gigs.
Gotcha.
And
are you doing research on other chefs at this time? Are you like, do you have cookbooks?
Oh, yeah. That was my whole thing is always studying. Just continuing to study.
Who got you into cookbooks?
In reality, it was a self thing, man. Like, even when I leave work today, to this day, I go home and I watch cooking shows. I watch documentaries on food.
Yeah.
I'm reading cookbooks. Because I'm actually self-taught.
Okay.
I never went to culinary school. I've had to learn everything along the way. So it was more or less just continuing to study while I'm working and everything else. And so after Short Fields, I applied. And, I took the sous chef position here.
Okay.
And, for years, I lived here for probably 13 years. I didn't even know this place existed.
Really?
It's such a quiet place. It's mostly the up-and-comers of Greenville, if you will. Lawyers, politicians, financial guys.